I mean, I'm not concerned because I'm not confusing the two. Sexual harassment in the workplace and in our schoolyards and sexual violence are two different things. One reaches a criminal threshold. To say that the two things aren't connected, I think would be wrong. If we don't tackle sexual harassment, the kind of sort of aggressive sexualization of girls that might be, considered to be banter in the schoolyard. If schools aren't doing anything about that, it's no wonder that when girls are raped in a school, which I'm afraid to say happens very, very regularly, and the government shouldn't be shocked by it because, again, they've known the data on this. But when that happens, it's not a surprise then that girls don't feel that they can come forward because what has been tolerated is unpleasantness. So I'm not saying that we should criminalise banter. What I am saying is we should criminalise sexual violence, which currently in this country we don't really do.
As you use the expression very, very regularly for the instances of rape, how can you confirm that? What gives you the knowledge to actually put that out there, Jess?
I mean, well, the data. So 5 years ago, when the Women and Equality Select Committee did the report, it was assessed on the data that was available then that in school there was a rape every single school day that occurred in school. Also, I mean, I have all of the data. So, for example, there were 58,000 reports of child contact abuse up to the end of 2019, and only around 2,000 of those child contact sexual abuse ever saw the inside of a courtroom. So the data is there. I've worked, I'm afraid to say, with parents and directly with children who have been raped by children in their class and then put back into that classroom by a school who had no guidance. The only thing that the government has done in the past 5 years, even though they have known about this threat, is to issue new guidance to schools, which they've done nothing to make sure schools are following and following up on. And the reason that they issued that new guidance was because a young girl who was raped at her school took the Secretary of State for Education to court for lack of safeguarding of her. That's the only thing the government have done in the last 5 years. And it's because a victim had to go through a terrible process of taking legal action against our Department for Education.
Let me ask you this. The Chief Constable Simon Bailey, who is the Child Protection Lead for the National Police Chiefs Council, is urging parents that they should shop their children, their sons predominantly, if they feel they've been sex predators or behaved inappropriately. Do you support that?
I mean, behaved inappropriate and are a sex predator are two different things. But I'm the mother of two teenage sons who have just packed off to their local secondary school, and I think that parents should be talking to their sons today, this week, next week, forever, about exactly what is and isn't appropriate, and should be able to rely on schools and our government to make sure that that people are coming forward to the police, that things are being reacted to, and that there are proper programs about sexually harmful behaviours in boys. The Bernardos, for example, run the kind of scheme that a parent might feel more confident going to than the police, worrying about their son. But it's not available across our country. It's only available it's a postcode lottery. The reality is there's loads that could be done before we're worrying parents about shopping in their sons.
And what have you done, might I ask, Jess, to ensure that your boys grow up as responsible young men?
I mean, my sons grew up before I was a member of Parliament. They would sit under the desk in a women's refuge and a rape crisis centre when they were children. They understand consent. But my sons live in the society that they live in. And so every day I have to talk to them about what my expectations are of how they treat women. And not just me, but my husband. And in front of my sons, my husband frequently calls out other poor behaviour by his male friends or people in public. And we've got to all be doing that. It's, I have to keep my foot on the pedal because we all live in the same society.
Jess Phillips, thank you for your time. Your Labour MP.